And welcome back, everybody. Apologies again, been a very long time since drinks, or Revit for that matter. Usual story. I work full time, busy family life, so sort of squeezing these projects in whenever I can at the moment. Right, so bouncing back to my multi-level residential project. Okay, we were doing cutting and filling into a topo surface. Now what I want to do with this particular project is I want to create a ramp that comes down to meet this basement here, okay, from up here somewhere. Okay, but I want the ramp to cut and fill the land. Okay, so I need to use a building pad for this. Now here's a little trick that I've when I was reviewing this project. Okay, on the top here I told everybody to put a building pad down because I wanted to see cut and fill and all that sort of stuff. I've got another little building pad down here for the basement. Okay, and these two overlap. So if I go to the top of my view, there's one, there's the other. Now, big problem. I can't put another building pad down here until this one is gone. So I'm going to have to delete it. Now it's not a critical project, so I can do this. If you're in a major project, you need to really think about these sort of things before you proceed. Anyway, so I've gotten rid of that building pad so I can build another one. Okay, so I'm going to go into my ground floor plan proposed. Okay, which is the level where this ramp has to come up. Okay, the other level I need to keep in the back of my mind that it is the basement plan. So we're going to go to our massing and site tools. We're going to click on building pad. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to join this pad up here. So we're going to use this pad, use the endpoints, and I'm going to get the building pad to go to our boundary lines, which are our reference planes. And for argument's sake, I'm going to run about 6 meters, and I'm just going to finish that circuit there. Okay, so Revit now has a building pad to extrude. Now the big issue here is that this building pad is at the ground floor plan, okay, and it's flat, okay, doesn't slope. So how do I get this and other things that are normally flat to slope? Okay, if you come up into the sketch zone here, okay, got boundary lines. We also have a little button in here called slope arrow. Okay, so this is another little sketch within the sketch. Okay, and what the slope arrow does is that it adds slope or gradient to the element that you are building. The best way to do that is to illustrate that to you. So I'm going to left click on slope arrow. Okay, we only get a couple of drawing tools here. Okay, normal lines or pick a line. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from right to left. Okay, so I'm going to left click there. Going to drag it all the way down to that side there. Okay, so here's the fun part. Now I've just hit escape a couple of times, and even though I've drawn my slope arrow, I'm now back and modifying. All of this default information is for the shape of the building pad. If I want to modify the slope arrow, I have to click on it, and I have to look at the properties on the left hand side. Okay, doesn't work any other way. So like I said, it's a sketch within a sketch. Right, so what properties do we have for this slope arrow? Okay, so we can specify here some constraints. So we've got here the height at the tail, or I can tell it a slope. I want the height because I know exactly what the height is. Okay, now this is the head, okay, where the pointy bit is, and that is the tail. Very important. Okay, so the level at my tail, which is up, okay, that's going to be at ground floor level. I want that to be here, the ground floor plan. Okay, don't worry that it's existing, remember that's the reference plane name. Okay, there is no height offset, I just want that this tail, when it's drawn, to be level with that level there. The level at the head, the pointy bit, okay, I want that to be the basement. And again, there's no offset there. Okay, and as you can see there, Revit starts calculating things for us. So it's telling us that we've got an 18.43 degree slope, and the length of this is 18 odd meters. Okay, so I'm just going to click apply. Right, so I now have the shape of my building pad, and I have a slope arrow which is telling it, theoretically, that up here at the base of the tail it's going to be at ground floor level, and at the head of the tail it's going to be at basement level. Now you can flip that around and you could reverse things, it will work perfectly well. Okay, but I believe that you probably should, once you have a convention in mind, stick to it, otherwise it's going to get really confusing. So now what we need to do is just finish the sketch. Okay, best way to see this is in 3D, and voila, there we go. How about that? So I'm just going to change that to consistent colors, and I might change that to, in my phasing, I might just show complete a new construction. There we go, that's a little bit easier to see, isn't it? Okay, so there we go. So we've got our basement, we've got a building pad that is sloping, so it's creating that depth for us. Okay, I'm not worried about this little bit in here, this is just excess topo surface, we can deal with that later on. Okay, right, so have fun playing with that. Lots of things you can do shaped, you can do curved curved building pads, all that sort of stuff. Have a muck around, see what you can come up with. Any questions, give me a yell. I have had a couple of questions typed to me, and I'm really sorry that I haven't replied. It's just Google and YouTube just been a little bit of a nuisance, just with not letting me reply via the account for some reason, so it's something I just need to resolve internally. But anyway, I will see you all later.